Hi everybody, it's Mr. Tom again. I'm going to continue with our summer chapter book, Penguin Puzzle, which is again a Magic School Bus series book, and we're on chapter 2. Okay, so let's get started with chapter 2. All right, here we go. The Magic School Bus was chugging along the road. All the kids had their binoculars out. They were staring at everything that passed: trees, birds, even people in cars. I was sitting next to Uncle Cecil. We were right behind Miss Frizzle, who was driving the bus. I noticed that Uncle Cecil was holding his briefcase very carefully. "Uncle Cecil," I whispered, "can't you tell me what's inside?" I was interrupted by a shout from Ralphie in the back. "Stop that, Dorothy Ann." Dorothy Ann was examining Ralphie with her binoculars. But Ralphie said, "I'm not a specimen." Ralphie protested, "I'm a human." "Okay," said Dorothy Ann. "Well, almost," D.A. said, rolling her eyes. Just then, Miss Frizzle asked Uncle Cecil a question. They began talking about migration patterns of birds and other things that were way over my head. I started to squirm in my seat. I was getting really hot in the bus. We were all bundled up in our winter coats. "I'm hot," said Arnold. "Sure has been hot here, hasn't it?" "Really hot." "I'm hot," said Arnold. He was sitting in the front seat across the aisle. "Me too," I said. "This bus feels like an oven." "Miss Frizzle," Arnold said, "can we turn on the air conditioning?" But Miss Frizzle was too wrapped up in driving the bus and talking to Uncle Cecil. She didn't even hear a word Arnold said. All right, there's a picture. There's Dorothy Ann using her binoculars to check out Ralphie. See that? All right. "Hey, Phoebe," Arnold said, "can you reach the air conditioning button on the dashboard of the bus?" I looked at the dashboard of the Magic School Bus. There were lots of strange buttons, but one was red with a silver icicle on it. "I don't think we should touch anything without asking Miss Frizzle first," I told Arnold. "Well, I'm roasting like a marshmallow," Arnold said. "I have to do something." Arnold reached out his hand and pushed on the red button with the icicle. I saw Liz try to stop him with a flick of her tail. Remember, Liz is the dog. Miss Frizzle must have seen him out of the corner of her eye, because she shouted, "Arnold, no!" But it was too late. "Oh no, what did I do?" Arnold yelled as the Magic School Bus started to shake and change shape. "You hit the big chill button," Miss Frizzle said. Her voice sounded strained. Her eyes were fixed on the dashboard as it changed into something with all kinds of dials and flashing lights. I knew I had seen that before. The Magic School Bus was turning into a Magic School jet. Whoa! "What's happening? Where are we going?" I asked the Frizz. But my voice was drowned out by the roar of the engines. Then signs began to flash over our heads. "Fasten your seatbelts. Prepare for takeoff." The roar of the engines got louder. Suddenly we were pressed back in our seats by the force of the jet's acceleration. I looked out the window and saw the ground whizzing by. Wouldn't that be cool if our buses could turn into jets? I think we'd get to school a lot faster. The Magic School Bus was taxiing for takeoff. Uncle Cecil tightened his seatbelt and checked my seatbelt. I noticed that he looked a little flustered. After all, this was his first field trip on the Magic School Bus. "At least it's cooler in here," Arnold said. "Don't worry, Arnold," Miss Frizzle said. "You'll be plenty cool soon." I noticed that twinkle in her eye before. But that wasn't all I noticed. "Arnold, look," I said. "Miss Frizzle's dress changed." We both stared at Miss Frizzle's dress. It was still mostly blue, but most of the birds had disappeared from the sky. Now there were a bunch of birds on what looked like ice. When I looked closely, I could tell they were penguins. Miss Frizzle, Arnold asked nervously, where are we going? Just then the jet took off. Soon we were cruising high above the clouds. Miss Frizzle flicked on her automatic pilot, then stood up to face the class. Well, class, thanks to Arnold, we've just changed our plans for this field trip. Once you press the big chill button, there's no turning back. We're on an express flight to Antarctica. Whoa, the big chill at the bottom of the world. Antarctica, at least 10 voices said at once. I think it's time for a geography lesson, Miss Frizzle said. She popped open an overhead compartment and pulled out a world globe. Liz jumped onto the globe and pointed to Antarctica with her tail. So there are some facts here about Antarctica, okay? And I'll read some of those. Some people confuse Antarctica with the Arctic. Antarctica is a vast area of frozen land that surrounds the South Pole, while the Arctic is a large frozen ocean that surrounds the North Pole. Antarctica is the world's coldest continent, the world's windiest, the world's highest, and the world's least populated continent. We're heading south, Miss Frizzle said, all the way south. Hey, look out the window, Carlos yelled. I think we're over a rainforest. We all leaned over to the windows to see. Below us was velvety green carpet of trees. It seemed to go on forever. Miss Frizzle pointed to Brazil on the globe. We must be right about here, just above the Amazon rainforest. Dorothy Ann was busy with her calculator. According to my calculations, she said, we have gone over the equator. You're right, Dorothy Ann, Miss Frizzle said. We're now in the southern hemisphere, and it's not winter here, it's summer. And if it's summer in Antarctica, I asked my uncle, does that mean the whole place will melt? Jolly good question, Phoebe, Uncle Cecil said, but the answer is no. Even in the summer, Antarctica is freezing. In fact, if Antarctica melted, there would be so much water that the world would be flooded. How many minutes until we get to Antarctica? Ralphie asked. I want to see some penguins. It won't be long, Miss Frizzle answered. Meanwhile, let's get ready. She pressed a button on the jet's control panel, and a second later, the compartments over our seats popped open. Orange packets fell into our laps. Start putting on your expedition gear, the Frizz ordered. It may be summer in Antarctica, but you'll still need to bundle up. They don't call it the Big Chill for nothing. And that's the end of Chapter 2, and we'll do Chapter 3 next time. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. It's exciting to ride the Magic School Bus, isn't it? Talk to you later. See you, bye.